All right, welcome back. We want to give you an update on what's going on up north. Of course, we've been pretty fortunate throughout the morning to be able to check in with our friends at the Weather Channel.
And as somebody who grew up in northern Michigan, I obviously know as you travel north, things can really change. We have a report from the Weather Channel. Meteorologist Chris Bruin is in Traverse City. Let's take a look and see what we're seeing up there today.
You want to go right now to meteorologist Chris Bruin with the Weather Channel. He has been kind of up there in Traverse City, keeping tabs on the conditions there. We were just taking a look at one of our tower cameras here at the station, Chris, and the wind is absolutely whipping here in Grand Rapids. And I would imagine that's the same story up there near Traverse City.
Yeah, we have officially gusted to 58 miles per hour at the Cherry Capital Airport here in Traverse City. And I'll tell you, we checked in a couple hours ago. Conditions are even worse now. Visibility is some of the worst I've seen. I can barely make out the other side of the street. I want to pan over. There's some condos there. I mean, it's a total whiteout. All right, look at the flag. I mean, it is rocking and rolling. And we've talked to some local city crews here in Traverse City, and even just some locals who are out walking around, wanted to stop by and say hi, and they've lived here their whole life. And while the snow isn't like the most impressive snowstorm you guys have ever seen in Traverse City, they said the wind is absolutely insane, and we don't get this kind of wind that often, okay? We're on the shores of Grand Traverse Bay, and obviously with visibility like this, you're not even going to be able to see it, but from what the city crew said, she's like, typically the water is very calm. This is a protected harbor off of Lake Michigan. And the way the waves are right now, splashing over the seawall, she says there's some of the largest she's ever seen, especially in more recent years. So I just want to paint this picture. We're going to be like this all day. Blowing, drifting snow becomes a big issue. I mean, look at the park. There's a playground over there. And the swings, I mean, they're just moving by themselves. And notice the trees. You've got, this is a good one here, Lauren, if you can see the tree. Notice how it's plastered with snow on one side, and then the other side is bare. That's what we're seeing on the cars. Certain parts of your drive to your house or in your neighborhood is going to have drifts, and the other sides will be total exposed. And because we had rain overnight and then temperatures plummeted, we had that flash freeze, and that created a solid sheet of ice. We talked to some of the city sanitation crews, and they were out all morning. They're out still, and they said the ice has been very tricky, and most roads have, kind of a solid sheet of ice. They're able to remove the snow, but it's the visibility and the wind that have been a huge concern. At last check, we hadn't had any road closures in the Traverse City, but that doesn't mean there's not problems. And trying to get down towards, say, Manistee, or even down towards Grand Rapids, absolutely difficult. I mean, it's like this for all of Western Michigan because the winds are widespread. Even if you're not getting in on the heaviest snowfall, like other parts of the state are, you're still dealing with those wind gusts. And it's caused a lot of havoc this morning at airports, some big hubs like Detroit. They're not getting as much snow, but they're still gusting over 40 to 50 miles per hour. And get this, the UP of Michigan still under blizzard warnings right now. Marquette has had over 22 inches of snow, and that was several hours ago. I can imagine that total will get even larger. Here in Traverse City, I would say we're probably closing in on about 5 or 6 inches, and we've got another 3 to 6 inches to go, I would say, before all is said and done. The winds will continue through about dinner time here, not just in Traverse City, but across much of Michigan. And then tonight, they'll slowly start to come back down. Tomorrow, we won't have nearly the kind of wind, but the snow will still stick around. We've got a little clipper system that's going to come swinging back through the Great Lakes, so that will bring in more snow later in the afternoon and tomorrow night. But I do think travel will be a lot better tomorrow. It's going to take a little while to clean up. And for most people, I mean, even Traverse City, it's kind of shutting them down. A lot of businesses probably didn't even open. We haven't seen a lot of people out, aside from, a handful of cars that will come. This is Front Street, and there's people driving from one end of town to the other. But once you get outside the city limits, that's when you run into big problems. So what you see is what you're going to get here pretty much all afternoon. And imagine at night as we lose whatever daylight we have, and we're still dealing with these kinds of gusts, wind, and blowing snow.